The Royals have a serious problem, as a certain player may be dealing with a sophomore slump type of season. He's gotten off to a very rocky start, and if he keeps this up, his job could very well be in jeopardy. We have all the latest news and updates right here on Royals Digest. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brian Sparks, and I hope you all are having a fantastic day. If you haven't already, do me a huge favor. Hit that bell, hit that button so you never miss an episode posted here on Royals Digest, as we're going to be bringing you guys daily Royals content all throughout this long 162 game season with videos just like these, but also shorts and pre and post game live streams. Those are coming very soon, I can promise you that. The whole 9 yards. We're going to have you guys covered from start to finish. Now, today's episode, we are talking, I guess I just wanted to touch base on a player that has just gotten off to a slow start. Now, this team collectively, along with a handful of other players, have started to turn a corner. The pieces of the puzzle have started to kind of fall into place. Everything is, I would say, for the most part, starting to click. You know, the rotation is second right now with quality starts. I mean, this is a common trend. We saw it last year. They saved this team from falling flat on their face, and it's transferred over into this year. The starting pitching has been good. The offense, though it's not as productive as I think that it could be, I think that there is still a lot of room for improvement, and the production could very well be a lot better than it is right now. It's still better than how they started off this season. Their overall production has been better, and players on that lineup and in that lineup, have started to produce more, and that's been a great sign. The bullpen has been far better than they were to start the year, and so this team overall, I would say, is turning a corner. They are a game and a half behind the AL Central, and has really started to put up a lot more of productive games, and kind of come back from behind, win games, and they have that fight. It looks like this team throughout the 2026 season so far. But one player in particular who had such a phenomenal rookie year last year and really kind of broke out onto the scene has gotten off to a very rocky start, and hasn't been one of those players that is trending upwards, that may have started off the season really slow. And granted, you can take this with a grain of salt, because the sample size is still small. There's still a lot of baseball left to be played, but still, he isn't a player that started off really slow but is trending upwards. No, he's a player that started off slow and is just start after start, just hasn't really shown a whole bunch of promise so far. And with this being his second year, and not being really an established player, not only on the Royals but in the MLB, his job could very well be in jeopardy. Like I said in the intro, there's a handful of players that are just looking for opportunities, and players that have already capitalized on certain opportunities. And so if he keeps going down this road, I think that, again, his job could very well be in jeopardy. If you don't know who we're talking about in today's episode, it's Mr. Noah Cameron. Like I said, phenomenal rookie season. A sub-3 ERA was kind of a bright light for this rotation whenever it was dealing with so many injuries. I believe it was whenever Ragans was dealing with one of the 1,000 injuries he had last year, whether it was his groin, his rotator cuff strain, one of the two. Whenever he got put on the IL, they called up Noah Cameron, and last year was one of my favorite types of years I see from players. It's years that, you don't have much expectations, and not a lot of people were waiting for Noah Cameron to get called up. It was just kind of a, hey, Ragans is hurt, let's give this guy an opportunity. So the expectations were very limited, I would say. But man, he exceeded any expectations that, if you had expectations for him, I'm sure he exceeded them by 1,000. Sub-3 ERA, was very efficient, very effective, and took that opportunity and ran with it as he stayed in that rotation till the very end of the season. But going into spring training, a lot of people were looking at his metrics from 2025, and there was a narrative that he may have gotten a little bit more lucky than we think, and that a luck, I would say, or they would say, played a big factor in his year in 2025. And even, again, going into spring training, one of the bigger roster battles was that fifth spot in that rotation. Because if you can recall, this rotation was plagued with injuries last year, so they were forced, Kansas City was, to go out at the deadline and get rotation depth and pitcher depth. And so they got a handful of great arms, and Bailey Falter, Stephen Kolek, Ryan Berger, and then Noah Cameron, of course. Those kind of being the four main top dogs for this fifth spot in the rotation. But ultimately, it's hard to overlook Cameron's rookie season. You look at this, and then we'll get into his season right now. But again, sub-3 ERA, 9-7, 138 and 1/3 innings pitched, 114 strikeouts, and a 1.10 WHIP. Very effective year. But then you get into this year, and again, it's 7 starts. Take it with a grain of salt, but still, this is not for a player that's not as established as he is. You know, he had, again, I'm not overlooking his season. He had a phenomenal rookie season, but still, if he keeps going down this road, there's a chance he gets sent down. 2-2, 5.55 ERA in 7 starts, 35 2/3 innings pitched, 32 strikeouts, and a 1.65 WHIP. And looking at his metrics, he's not having an issue finding the zone. He doesn't have a super crazy, walk rate. He's got I can't see it very well. I believe that's 8.5 percentage, but it's that I think he's catching too much of the zone. He's been very hittable. His pitches haven't been very effective. He's generated a handful of whiffs, I will say, but I think that he is finding too much of the zone, as shown in how hard these players are hitting the baseball. I think he's maybe finding too much of the middle of the zone, maybe with his pitches. But the players have been swinging the bat very well against Cameron. His metrics show that they are hitting the ball very, very hard off him, just shown by the hit rate of a 45.6 or 45.8. Again, I'm sorry, it's a little blurry on my laptop, but long story short, he's been very hittable, and hitters have been hitting the ball very hard against him. And like I said earlier in the episode, some of these players throughout this season have started off, they started off slow, but are starting to trend upwards. Prime example is Lucas Erceg. Had a very rocky start to the season, but as of late has looked like that vintage 2024 Lucas Erceg we all know and love. So a handful of players have had that type of storyline throughout the year. But for Cameron, it's like each start you want to see something, you want to see him progress, and you're not seeing that. He's having very long innings. It showed yesterday in the series finale against the Detroit Tigers. He got through 4 innings, allowing 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. And I believe by the 3rd inning, he was already at 75 pitches or something like that. He's working. He got worked last night. They were hitting him fairly well and having great at-bats against him, and just couldn't get out of an inning quick. At least for the first 3. And then that's not really how you want to start off your games. But when talking about some players that, could be in the run for his job if he continues to go down this road, is Stephen Kolek. He, ever since he put on a Royals uniform, has been very, very effective and very, very good. And it showed in his first outing this season. Another quality start. Again, he's another guy that got, or I guess I brought him up. He came to Kansas City at the deadline last year and pitched nothing but quality starts in his first five starts that he logged in Kansas City in 2025. And he brought that over, though he was dealing with some injuries, got placed off the IL, rehab, and now he's back. His first start back was another quality start. So he's 6 for 6 in quality starts for Kansas City. And definitely, if he continues this quality start kind of streak, I guess he has in Kansas City, and Noah Cameron keeps going down the path he's going down, who knows? Stephen Kolek could take his spot. Noah Cameron could kind of find himself back in AAA. And I'm not saying this is the end of the road for Cameron. Again, please don't come at me in the comments below. Take this with a grain of salt. I'm just kind of touching base on Noah Cameron because the metrics are there. He's not having the greatest start. I'm not saying that he could very well turn his season around this month. And the next 3 starts could look lights out, and his metrics look completely different. Again, very small sample size, but I'm just saying it's rough seeing his stats and the way he's performed this year compared to last year, and especially whenever a lot of people were like, he got lucky last year. He's not going to be the same Noah Cameron. It sucks to see those kind of narratives not come to life or come true or anything like that, because I'm a huge Noah Cameron fan. It's just that, who knows, maybe sending him down to AAA could help a whole bunch. It helps a whole bunch of players all throughout the MLB, different teams and stuff like that. It's helped in our own organization in the past. It helps. So let me know what your guys' overall thoughts are in the comments section below. Are you worried about Noah Cameron? Do you think he will turn it around? And if you think his job is going to get taken, who do you think is going to take it? Is it going to be Stephen Kolek? Is it going to be someone else? Is Luinder Avila going to turn it around somehow? He's had a rough start of the season, but just a couple names that are on the top of my head that could be in the running for the fifth spot in the rotation. Let me know what your guys' overall thoughts are in the comment section below. But other than that, that is all I have for you guys here on Royals Digest. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, a great rest of your week, and as always, go Royals.